everyone, good morning. It is Sunday, November the 16th, 2025, and we're going to do us some cruise news today. I apologize for not being live this morning. I found out I had a couple things I had to get done. So here we are doing a little cruise news. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello everyone, John here from Byte Size Cruises. I'm not sure if I said that already. Anyway, we're going to get into some cruise news today for a wrap-up of the week ending today, which is November 16th. So let's get into some cruise news. The first bit of cruise news I have is from Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean is adding the Price is Right game show on Utopia of the Seas. And I think I'm going to do a video this week following up. I was watching Don Terrace this week talking about if we're hitting a tipping point on cruise pricing and everything. So I think I'm going to kind of piggyback off of Don and talk about that a little bit this week. But I wanted to bring it up a little bit today in this Price is Right game show. So look, I enjoy gambling as much as the next person who enjoys gambling. I like to play the slots. I like to play craps. I like to play roulette. I enjoy, as an entertainment form. Not as like, I know I'm going to win money. If you win, it's great. If you don't, it's okay. It's entertainment. But here's the thing that I'm finding more and more on the cruises. And I talked about this when Norwegian got rid of a lot of their shows and was moving more into having Wheel of Fortune. They were doing Wheel of Fortune like 3 nights. They have Deal or No Deal multiple nights on the cruise. And don't get me wrong. Lots and lots of people go to these shows. Lots and lots of people buy the tickets for Deal or No Deal. And I get that it's just like gambling, right? It's just like going to the casino and gambling. Although your 10 or 20 bucks is going to last a lot longer. So if you enjoy this, please continue to enjoy it. I do think the games are fun. I particularly enjoy Price is Right on Norwegian and Wheel of Fortune because they do have like some extravagant setups. They do it in the theater. It's like a real legit setup. Even on Carnival where they play Family Feud, I love that. I think it's a lot of fun, and that's less of a kind of money grab and more of a kind of game show, a fun game show, which is kind of creating entertainment for the audience. Whereas in these other ones, it's a little bit of entertainment for the audience, but it's mostly a cash grab. And with a lot of these Broadway shows going away, for whatever reason, you could say, well, a lot of these shows are going away because they're doing shorter cruises and less people are going to these shows. Sure, I get it. I was on Independence. I went to see Grease. There was nobody there. I was disappointed. I really enjoyed the show. It was wonderful. And I know on Norwegian, they said people don't want to sit for 90 minutes and watch a Broadway show. Okay. I don't agree with that, but sure. My biggest issue is these are definitely cash grabs. Like it says in the first line, Price is Right will require a small entry fee to play, which I get. And you're going to have a chance to win a new car, which you'll never win. Just like you can win a cruise playing bingo. I've never seen anybody win that cruise. I go on a lot of cruises. To me, it's just another way to get hit over the head for nickel and diming. But it's okay. If you enjoy that, please enjoy it. Like I said, I gamble. It's more of just an outsider look in as to like how many things can we pay for once we get on the ship. But I do enjoy, I think the Price is Right on Norwegian in particular, Prima and those class ships is really fun. And I think it's a blast. They have the real setup. If you're going to do it, do it. Like the Deal or No Deal to me is just like a video screen. They do it in the atrium. It's low budget. At least with Price is Right, they have a big budget. They have an announcer. They have Plinko. They have all the fun games. So I digress. Don't worry about me being an old man about it. Next up, a 44-year-old Australian man has been kicked off of the old Anthem of the Seas for getting into a fight. This guy started a fight. He accosted someone, allegedly, in Australia. Just began their Australian season 2 weeks ago. Don't ruin it for everybody in Australia. There are delightful Australian people that would like to go on cruises. So Royal Caribbean booted this guy off he got into a fight on November the 13th at 9:30 at night. The next day, they docked at Port Chalmers in Dunedin. Is that how you pronounce that? Dunedin, New Zealand. Dunedin. Who knows? I could have looked it up. Why would I do that? So he was booted off. They didn't release his name or anything. I wouldn't give it anyway. It's not my business. The passenger who was accosted was given medical attention for a cut on his nose. It's good to see that they're really like starting to push back on some of these things. I also saw with the streamers that got kicked off this week, and I've seen more and more people complaining about influencers on cruise ships. Influencers are everywhere, and they're the most annoying people in the world. I totally get it. And you're going to say, but John, you video on cruise ships. I do indeed. However, if you watch my videos, as to not be hypocritical, whenever I'm doing ship tours, I do them at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And then I'll pop out to get the pool deck at like 6 when the sun starts coming up. Because I don't want to ruin or get in the way of someone's vacation. And also, I'm not an influencer, nor anything related to that. I'm a travel agent that uses YouTube to try to give you good information so you book a cruise with me, not so that I can become YouTube famous and make a living off of YouTube. No shade to anybody that does that. That's not what I'm doing, so I'm just pointing that out. So I'm glad that they're cracking down on this, but I also, it worries me, right? Because this is what we do. And it worries me because of this poor behavior that people are walking around the ships with their cameras out and they're filming everything. Just like you see these annoying streamers in fitness clubs that don't understand that, you know, people with main character syndrome that don't understand that you're on a ship with 6,000 people, 5,000 people, whatever it is. It's not about you. It's about everybody trying to have a great vacation. You should have a great vacation as well, but that does not include you doing TikTok dances in the middle of the promenade and holding everybody up and getting mad when people get in your shot. I don't know. Why am I cranky today? I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad they're cracking down on the bad behavior. And please be just the most basic human kind of empathy for other people that are trying to enjoy themselves. Be aware of it. Yes, when I video some things, there are people in the shots. There's no expectation of privacy whenever you're out in public, so it's totally fine. But I do try my best to not get people in the shots, to not get kids in the shot, to try to just, as much as humanly possible, just film the things that I'm trying to film. So keep that in mind. Even if you're just on a vacation, be just the smallest amount of concern for other people would be really nice. Next up, Oceania has christened their brand new ship, Allura, in Miami. Oceania, a beautiful cruise line owned by Norwegian. I'm going to do a video about Oceania this week. Charlie, one of our subscribers, gave me some information about Oceania having these great sales. So I'm going to do a video about that this week as well. Next up, Crystal Cruise Line is bringing out their first ship in 25 years. It's going to be called the Crystal Grace. It's going to have its inaugural voyage in June of 2028. Crystal Cruise Line, a very beautiful, kind of slightly more upscale cruise line. They do have other ships, the Serenity and the Symphony. So these are owned by Abercrombie & Kent. They were purchased right out after the pandemic when Crystal had a lot of financial issues. Next up is a really interesting piece of cruise news, and I might do something larger on this, but New York City has unveiled a master plan to upgrade the 90-year-old Manhattan Cruise Terminal. The plan includes introducing shore power at all the berths and will accommodate up to 3 vessels simultaneously, with 2 of them being able to accommodate 8,000 passenger ships. Now, don't get your hopes up. Icon cannot come up here. Maybe World America can, I'm not sure. Icon cannot, because it cannot go under the Verrazano. Can't get low enough for that. But doesn't mean that these other ships can't come up here. We do get Oasis class ships and all that. We could have a few of those. I'm assuming that like Jubilee and Celebration and all them can fit under there. More than 1 million cruise passengers currently use Manhattan every year, but the terminal is almost a century old. New York City had a design put in place. This is really, really, really interesting. Now, with everything going on in Manhattan right now, I don't know if this is going to get done. Obviously, as they just they didn't hire a new mayor, they elected a new mayor who is really trying to save money and get a lot of things more affordable, if not free. So it's interesting to see if they're going to still invest in things like this. But this is going to hopefully help with a lot of the flow issues, just give it more modern standards. Again, we talked about the shore power, and it should be able to grow a lot of revenue for the city. So hopefully everyone gets behind this. The cruise industry brings about $500 million annually into Manhattan and Brooklyn and supports close to 3,000 jobs. Supposedly this is going to be in the works. It's going to be phased to keep ships operating during the construction, and really, really cool. So can't wait for that. Can't wait to see more about it, and maybe we'll do a separate little full story about that as more details unfold. Next up, Royal Caribbean is going to be coming back to Baltimore. People were a little bit worried about it, but they're only going to be doing it in the summers. So for next year, 2026 and 2027, Vision of the Seas will be back, and then we'll see what happens after that. But for now, Royal will be back in Baltimore for the summers. Princess has opened up some Caribbean itineraries for 2027 and 2028. And interestingly enough, they've added the Carnival Celebration Key to their Caribbean itineraries. Princess, of course, owned by Carnival Corp, so not out of the realm of possibilities, as we've seen that Celebrity is now calling on Perfect Day. So it makes a lot of sense as they follow suit with their private island. Continuing along with Royal Caribbean news, and we just talked about Royal in one of the previous stories, laundry costs have gone up, and it's starting to frustrate people. Again, this is going to tie into the nickel and diming things. A lot of people get laundry service for free or discounted, but if you don't, it is going up. So we'll talk about it. I mean, obviously, I don't think the laundry prices are going to affect whether or not you're booking a cruise. I rarely use laundry on a cruise. I get free laundry on Norwegian, and I get a discount on Royal. I don't want to say never. I've had things like pressed and stuff. I would have to be on like a 10-day cruise or longer to use laundry. I know, I see the value of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to think. Maybe if I packed like super light for a 7-day cruise and I needed to wash things, that's the only other thing that I could think of that would even remotely make me think about using laundry service. But let me know what you think. Do you guys use laundry on your cruise? Let me know in the comments below. Norwegian Pearl is undergoing an extensive refit. We've talked about this a few times already. It's going to become the second of the Jewel-class vessels to get upgrades this fall. So it arrived in dry dock on November 4th, following Jewel, both of those ships coming to Philly next year. So Jewel just completed theirs in October. It's really nice that they're revitalizing these older ships. It's going to give them a little more life. They're adding the Vibe Beach Club, which is an adults-only kind of pool deck without a pool, but kind of a deck up there with just a hot tub. It's going to have a full-service bar, 54 premium loungers, 7 cabanas, and a new hot tub, which gives you a quieter, exclusive experience at sea with no kids, of course, which is really great. They're also going to be just updating a lot of the different parts of the ships, modernizing things to make it look nicer as it's going to move into its next realm of service and come up here to Philadelphia. And then we talked about it the other day. MSC has placed an order for 2 more of their world-class mega ships, taking it up to a total of 8 world ships. That's a lot of world ships that will be out by 2031. That, my friends, is the cruise news for the week. Let me know if you have any questions below. If you need help at all booking any of your cruises, please shoot me an email at jp@bytesizecruises.com. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Good luck to all your football teams this morning and this afternoon, and happy cruising. Bye, everyone.